Hello, thank you for taking the time to do this with us today with me. I know you're a very busy person, you'll be. So I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this interview. It really means a lot. So let's get the ball rolling. Could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, so my name is Vaina Lumbiwa, and I'm a mom. I'm a mom to a beautiful 7-year-old. Professionally, I'm a beauty therapist. I'm a beautician, and I'm based in Hartlepool currently. I have a small studio in Stockton. And yeah, I'm a creative at heart. So anything that has to do with arts, that has to do with culture, that has to do with music, dance, I'm all for it. You know, I celebrate all that, including beauty as well. So I love to incorporate it within my daily life. But that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. So would you say this flair for the creative, like this creative side of yours, is what has driven you into being one of the major proponents of the Miss Black History pageantry?
The reason to the start of the pageant, I have a background in pageantry. So I started pageantry at the age of 7. You know, I would say thrown into it by my mom. My mom was a proper pageant mom. So I did my first pageant at 7 years old, and I really grew from there because I loved that the build up, even the achievement bit and so forth. So I did pageantry up until the age of 2021 when I moved to Newcastle to do my studies. So upon moving here in the Northeast, I wanted to continue pursuing in pageantry, and I failed to find local pageants that I could take part in. All the pageants that would resonate with me as a young Black woman were all further down south. So trying to rally, trying to work out time schedules, traveling up and down from London and uni and work, it was impossible, it was impossible. So I just left that alone and I just continued my studies. In doing that, I kind of did a deep dive, into researching around the area, anything that had to do with celebrating young Black women, empowering young Black women. And I couldn't find any, So I had an amazing opportunity to have a sit down with a founder of one of the biggest charity organizations here in Tees Valley that celebrates the Black community, which is Taste of Africa. I had a sit down with Auntie Sade, and we just had a general conversation. She asked me what my interests were and what I would have loved to see within the area. And I told her about it, I told her what my past experiences were, and what I would have loved to see. And, I'm so thankful because she actually actively listened to me, and she gave me the platform. She gave me the platform and she gave me the extra hands to say, look, here's the platform, here's the people that you can work with. Just get it going, Do you know how Auntie Sade is? She would literally throw you in the deep end.
Like the typical African auntie.
Just like a typical auntie, literally threw me in the deep end, and she's like, it's either you sink or you drown, sink or drown or swim. So from then we are 3 years in now.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years in.
So how does the Miss Black history differ from the conventional pageantry?
Black history is about celebrating your achievements, you know, celebrating our past, our cultures, our traditions. And for me, I feel like it's not only celebrating the past, but also celebrating the present and the future as well. So using this pageant, we're using it as a platform to encourage our young Black women to not only to dig deep into their cultural roots, but also presently celebrate them and find a way to empower themselves using their culture for the future, you know, and incorporating that by using their skills. Most of these girls have hidden skills that, you know, they don't realize that they have, and giving them this platform kind of, you know, encourages them to say, okay, I can do this, and we expose them even more to get them comfortable, you know, keep them comfortable in their skin, because Miss Black history is more than the face, you know, it's more than the physical appearance. That's what we strive, you know, that's our mission, and that's you know, our vision to highlight that it's more than, you know, the physical. Most people go online, and, you know, people live online now, and we want to express that, you know, we want to shy away from, you know, pandering into what you see online and, you know, the typical beauty standards.
Yeah. You mentioned about the founder of Taste of Africa giving you that platform 3 years ago, and really, permit me to borrow your words, in your words, throwing you into the deep end, and it was either you swim or drown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would you say was, and even till now, has been the biggest challenge?
Support, you know, support, funding, sponsorship. In as much as we try to push that, okay, it's not just your typical pageant. People will still have that, it's a pageant, you know, you know, the bias. And we are, you know, fighting the bias and say, look, we're celebrating, it's empowering and celebrating young women, and it's Black young women, you know, and it's trying to, like I say, break that stereotype, and just finding that support, you know, just to have people actually sit down and listen and say, okay, I hear your vision, I'm happy to support. It's all that we look for, and it's all that we want, you know.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Other than having these girls that come up and then eventually win the Miss Black History pageantry, other than them finding this dormant creative side of them that probably the hitherto didn't know, or probably they know, they've just been very shy to put themselves out there. Other than that, what other successes would you say the Miss Black History pageantry has recorded?
Right.
Probably in partnership deals, collaborations. What other successes would you say, like notable successes, would you say the Miss Black History has recorded since its inception?
Yeah, so last year I had the privilege of getting to know one of the automotive businesses here in Teesside, which is the Mercedes-Benz dealership. I had to sit down with him, and obviously I shared my vision, and some of their core values actually work hand in hand with ours, which is celebrating and upscaling and, you know, empowering young minds, you know. And through that discussion, we, they enabled, or they sponsored one of our prizes this year, which is work placement at Mercedes-Benz, which is really fantastic, because it's also breaking that stereotyping in the automotive, because each and every time, I would say typically, if you think about working in a dealership, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's a man's job, So on their part, it's trying to encourage more female, not only female, but more female black to work in that industry.
To get into the industry.
To get into it and to work into it, no matter what part it is. It can be sales, it can be front of house, it can be, even under the car, it doesn't matter. And it really, really worked well with us, because like I said before, I'm fighting that stereotype as well. And it's more than just the face, it's more than just the beauty standard, it's just that being heard to say, okay, we're going to break stereotypes together. So, that's one of the biggest ones for us.
The Miss, from everything you've said so far, the Miss Black History pageantry clearly offers a very empowering and unique experience for young black women that would get on that platform and be brave and bold enough to use the platform and its benefits. However, I understand, and I know for a fact, because as someone that during my uni days, I was really slender, and back in my home country, of course, once you're a slender, tall girl, your pageant material, I want to scout you. So it was a whole lot for me. However, here in the United Kingdom, especially in this part that we're in, the Northeast, it's a bit different. So in as much as the Miss Black History pageant is very unique, its benefits cannot be even covered in the space in this short time of this interview. I know reaching potential participants can be challenging, can be daunting sometimes. So what are the plans that are being put in place to increase the visibility of the Miss Black History pageantry?
Like you just mentioned now, social media presence at this moment, we live in a digital world. So whatever you see online that's captivating, we try to utilize that. We try to utilize our social media presence. Another big aim for us is to work more with local colleges, local colleges and local universities, because in those universities we've got the African societies, so the African Afro societies, and the more we reach out to them, the more we show them that and say, look, this is what we do, this is who we are. Even if it's come to have a look first, it's fine. And then if you decide to want to throw yourself in there, we're more than welcome to take you. It's based in the Northeast, so this runs from all over the Northeast. And we've been blessed enough to have girls coming all the way from Newcastle as well. So it means it's getting to the right people, it's getting as far as we want it to go. And I'd love to see it go even further than that.
Amazing. Wow, the whole vision idea is truly inspiring, I must tell you. You've done a great job so far, and you continue to still do a great job. So looking ahead, what are the plans for the future? Is this something the Miss Black History pageantry, is this something you plan for it to remain in the Northeast, or do you plan to take it outside? What are the plans when, say, in the next 3 years, the next 3 to 5 years?
For now, to make it big here in the Northeast. I want it to really, really grow here in the Northeast. I want it to be really centered and rooted in the Northeast. Most of the times, you go down south and tell someone you're from Middlesbrough, they'll look at you and roll their eyes. Because of that typical thinking of Middlesbrough. Oh, it's just, Middlesbrough. I think the only famous thing about Middlesbrough is Teesside Uni and Palmo.
Not my Pamo.
You see? So I would love for Miss Black History to be part of that, you know, when people speak about Middlesbrough, when people speak of Tees Valley, when people speak about the North, I want them to say, oh, there's Miss Black History there.